We're here in Oklahoma City at the Overholser Mansion, taking a relaxed tour through a home that's been on our list for quite some time.
Mrs. Overholser was like the society leader for Oklahoma City. So this was built for parties and receptions and social things like that. And so over on this side, if you guys want to come over here, is the guest doors. So if you were coming for a party, you would have come through these doors instead.
Oh my goodness, look at this. It's gorgeous.
This is like the grand entrance.
Wow. I literally have goosebumps. This is so beautiful. Oh. Now, he was considered the father of Oklahoma City, I think.
He was. He came here in 1889, when Oklahoma City was opened up. And then he was originally from Ohio. He had mercantile businesses, some mining interests, a lumber company. And he brought 10 railroad cars full of lumber and prefab buildings with him. Mm-hmm. So he's had six two-story wood frame buildings up within 10 days of the run. Wow. So they're where the Colcord Hotel's at right now. He actually sold that to Colcord when he built his hotel there. But he eventually had the Overholser Opera House, Overholser Theater, the Grand Avenue Hotel, which was a luxury hotel in those days. So what's Sheridan now downtown used to be called Grand. And so he had all four corners there where like the Marriott and Devon and everything were. So I'm sure he'd be stunned to see it today. But and this was his Opera House. And this was one of those 6 wooden buildings. 5 more came out this way. But the Colcord's here and the Devon Tower's here now.
About 6 months ago, we went to visit him?
Oh, yeah.
In the cemetery.
The cemetery.
Oh, did you go to Fairlawn? Yeah. And so by 1912, they were calling him the father of Oklahoma City. He also brought, capital to invest. So we needed trolleys and everything. We didn't have anything. So he helped invest in all of that. When we decided to fight with Guthrie for the Capitol, of course, he was involved in all of that and helped raise funds for the Capitol building. And then later in life, his big passion was our fair. So he loved the fair. And he didn't think it'd keep happening if it didn't have a permanent location. So he helped get the first one purchased. Mrs. Overholser came about a month or 2 after him. She didn't know him when she came here. Her father was an attorney setting up law offices, and he ended up being the first territorial treasurer of Oklahoma. And when he decided for his family to join him, he went to look for a place to live. He rented an apartment in those wood frame buildings for Mr. Overholser, who of course lived in his own building also. So the tops were apartments to rent and the bottoms were businesses to rent. And they were married in October of 1889. They had a son, Henry Samuel, in 1891, but he only lived about 6 months. And then they had their daughter in 1905, Henry Ione. So both kids were Henrys, probably trying to carry that name on. And she grew up in this house, and in the 20s, she got married on that landing there to a guy named David Perry. They never had any children, so this didn't descend down to anyone. And Mr. Overholser passed in 1915, Mrs. Overholser in 1940, and Henry Ione in 1959. She was only in her 50s. Wow. So that left their son-in-law with this, and he hung on to it and maintained it till 1972, and he sold it to the Historical Society because he said Mrs. Overholser said it should always be a museum one day because it was the first mansion in Oklahoma City. So
very nice.
He sold the contents with it, so 95% of what's in here was theirs and has always been in here since they got it. So they started building this in 1902 and it was finished late 1903. It's just under 12,000 square feet, another 4,000 in the carriage house. And this was out in the country for Oklahoma City, so trolley wouldn't come this far north or anything, which, it's right there, but still. And he had said that he wouldn't have built something this big just for himself, but he wanted the neighborhood to try to outdo him when they built it after him. So, and if you go up and down these streets, they totally were like, okay.
Well, the one across the street did.
Yeah, that was 24,000 square feet.
That's huge.
That one outdid it.
It's giant. All the woodwork's Antwerp oak from Belgium, and there are 109 windows in here. Most of the stained glass came from Europe, except the 2 ladies at the top of the stairs. Those were made in Kansas City. And it's said that the one on the left is Mrs. Overholser. She could play the violin, the piano, and she spoke fluent French. And the one on the right's her sister Hazel. Hazel got married on that landing too, so they must have really liked to do their weddings there. There's 7 fireplaces, and there's a basement, 3 floors, and an attic. So they had plenty of space for sure. It has a boiler in the basement, so originally it had radiator heat, which we have central heat in there now, but it had radiator heat, and the windows, of course, almost all go to the ground for whatever breeze you could catch in Oklahoma, which
Wow.
not much for sure. But the first party here was in 1904. It was the hanging of the crane because construction was finished, and 400 people came through to see it because they'd been watching it go up. And it was built with electricity. 2 bathrooms on the second floor and lots of closets, and so people still use wardrobes and armoires. So I think he thinks ahead on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He's a good planner. That picture is Henry Ione as an adult in that room over there. She, of course, when her parents passed away, this was hers to maintain and live in.
If I can get that.
Some of the ceilings in the different rooms are curved, and that's for better acoustics. And there's their family crest is in the clear glass above the windows there.
Okay.
Most of their things came from Europe. They went back and forth to Europe a lot. And the carpet, you'll see seams going across it because it came over in strips from England, and then it would be sewn together once it got here.
Wow.
Wall-to-wall carpeting in 1903 was pretty unheard of. And that picture on the table, that's Mrs. Overholser. She has, she was on her way to a reception at the White House for President McKinley. And it's a House of Worth gown from Paris that she had made for that. So she's been to the White House and Buckingham Palace a few times. So her circle is a little larger than just.
Wow, sounds like us.
Have you? Anybody watch Tulsa King?
I've seen it a couple times.
So that first season, he goes home for a funeral in the very beginning, and they filmed that here. So this is the funeral home.
Really?
You'll have to go pull it back up and check
very
it out. Yeah, he goes out those doors and he's in New Jersey, and I was like, oh, that's Hollywood because that's not over here. And since they own the Opera House, sometimes opera stars that were in town would do like a smaller performance for their friends and family here.
Wow.
Probably not Elvis, but that's just what they're We've been decorating in here all week, so we had to crank up some Christmas channels in here. The library is, the most of the furniture in there came from the Chicago Exposition in 1893.
Oh, okay.
And then on the table there, the 2 gold oval frames, that's Mr. and Mrs. Overholser. And the ones to the left are all Mrs. Overholser, just different times in her life. The flapper hat picture is Henry Ione. She went out to Hollywood to do some test screens for movies, and those were the test shots they took of her. And then that's her and her husband in the black frame, and he's in the gold frame too. So he was a pilot and executive assistant for a senator here for a long time. So this one has been updated a little bit. This is the one room down here. In the 60s, their son-in-law started updating and put the new cabinets and things in. And he did that while their cook had gone on vacation with her husband. She came back early, and the story is that she didn't really care for his updates. So she had wanted her stove left here. So that's why it's still here. Fridge is from 1931. Of course, everybody had a Hoosier cabinet in those days. This one has extra countertop that pulls out and a little pie safe on the end down there. And then someone was using these drawers for their phone directory and writing all their names.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how neat. Look at this little stove. Oh, that's so cool.
Wow.
And the irons.
Mm-hmm.
This is the base station, the intercom here. And of course, they had their butler's pantry with all the extra dishes and things in it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I wouldn't have liked the updates either. Only because it just, it's so much nicer like this. For this house, authentic, it's so much nicer.
And it has curved ceilings again, and the china on the table is Anna's wedding china. And so she had the trim up here painted to match it. So there's like a fancy O and some grapes, and then the rest matches her dishes. And grapes painted above the window to look like stained glass. And in those days, grapes signified plenty, and pineapple in the chairs and carpet for hospitality. There's a couple more leaves to the table if it needed to be a little bit bigger. And then this is off of a train. It was what they used for their dinner bell.
Really?
So it would let you know that it was time for...
I see they have a little bell there, too.
That is so great. Oh. That's Henry Iona. Since she. Oh, look at it. Oh, that's gorgeous. I sure do. That's beautiful. Yeah, but look at this tub is really long.
Yeah. Good. I could probably use it then. Laundry shooting here. An old radio.
And a television too. Hello, lovely. Oh, here's her sewing room. And another little intercom. It's not really a phone, honey. It's an intercom. It's a little sewing room. So, this might have been Mrs. Over, because Mrs. Overholser was just tiny. Yeah, those are intercoms.
Oh.
Aw, look at for the little babies. Little tiny grand piano. Look at the little clothes. Ah, the days when they dressed the little girls all frilly. Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh. Annabelle. Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy. Wow, look at this doll. I gotta get a picture of the dolls.
Don't just wait.
Oh, look. Wow. Look at this trunk.
We got a record from Arthur Pryor's band.
Oh.
I don't know who that is.
I was gonna say I don't either. Look at the baby tub. Yeah. Old-fashioned baby tub. Another sewing machine. Oh, look at the little walker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. It's a cute little room. And they got a tree here too. Oh, look at this. It's been some sort of imported piece.
Yeah, and that woodwork.
Isn't that gorgeous? It's gotta be Mr. Overholser. Oh, that's like for
Original luggage.
when they're traveling. It looks like as much as I pack. So what's this? Oh, storage. Spooky storage. With a creaking door. We decided to do a walk around the perimeter, which turned out to be a very scenic dead end. And like all good historical explorations, it required a careful turnaround and a second look, pretending like it was the plan all along. It's getting gloomier by the minute.
Yeah, cute. This is pretty.
Here's the backyard.
Milkweed for monarch butterflies.
Oh. Okay, so here's the carriage house.
Hey, horses.
Oh, okay, well, they've got that part blocked off, so we won't be going up there. There is a basement to the mansion, but we won't be going in there either. Yeah, anybody who knows me knows I open up doors. Oh, I guess this is where they have some events. Very pretty ceiling. So this is where they would have kept the horses. Let's see if we can't get one open. Oh no, they're painted shut. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, so the horses would have popped their heads out right here. How sweet. As this visit comes to a close, the Overholser Mansion remains as it was throughout the tour. Quiet, dignified, and at ease. There were a few objects in the home that stood out to me emotionally, but nothing about the house itself felt unsettling or unkind. Not every historic home carries unrest, and not every presence demands attention. Sometimes a place simply holds its history and continues on, unchanged. Copyright 2025, Paranormal Tendency, a division of Haunted Soul Productions. All rights reserved. Thanks for watching.